They say the only constant is change, but that's not true if you're Doctor Who's companion. So as I mentioned in a slightly offhanded fashion in my review of The Witch's Familiar, Jenna Coleman has been confirmed as leaving Doctor Who, which means Clara will be gone. I was ready for her to be gone at the end of Series 8 because she had 2 perfectly good exits, one in Death in Heaven, the other in The Last Christmas. They didn't use either of them. I don't know why she's still around. But that is all in the past. Let's not dwell on the past. Let's look to the future. What do I want out of a new companion? Well, actually, I'd rather talk about what I don't want out of a new companion, because here's where things have gotten really on my nerves with Doctor Who, which is we are in such a rut when it comes to companions. They fit a pretty rigid template. Now, given that I'm actually deviating from how I chose to define a companion when I did my ranking of companions, I should clarify. When I did that video, I was talking about any character who has been in more than one story and has traveled in the TARDIS qualified as a companion. I'm not talking about that in this case. This time, I'm talking about characters where the actor who played them is named in the title sequence. Now, I said they've been following a rigid template. There's basically 3 characteristics that nearly every companion so far has had, and I just want the next companion to not have all 3 of these, and those aspects are female, young, from modern day Earth. Very tired of this. They've only deviated from this once, really, and that was Donna. And the only way that she deviated was she was a little bit older. Now, that actually did make a difference, and that was part of why she's actually my favorite companion, because that actually did change up the dynamic a bit. I suppose the other exception could be Rory, but the thing is, he's never there under his own agency. He's only there as a tag-on for Amy. I mean, that said, I did like him being there. I like the dynamic of the 3 of them, the Doctor, Amy, and Rory. But again, Amy was always the main companion. I don't think anyone's arguing otherwise. So this is the template I want broken. No more young, attractive women from the modern day Earth timeline. I'm just done with it. I mean, if you saw my review of Magician's Apprentice, then you know how done with it I am, because I had kind of hoped that Bors would turn out to be the next companion. We know he's not, because he's Dalek shell thing, whatever that is. But that's how hard I'm rejecting this template at this point. I would rather have seen a guy clearly over 30 from the distant past. So obviously scrapping all 3 of these trends would be my ideal, but really, whoever the next companion is, I need them to not tick all 3 of these boxes. Just one of them has to be different. If I was going to prioritize, I'd say the modern Earth thing is the one I most desperately want to see go out the window. That was part of what annoyed me about Clara in the first place, was that we had gotten what, to me, were much more interesting versions of the character, with Oswin and with the Governess. And I would much rather either of those versions have been the companion for the Doctor rather than the one from modern day Earth, just like all the other ones. Even though the sameness of a young attractive woman is bothering me a little bit, I'm not as hung up on that one, because that has always been the template for Doctor Who going back into the classic era. Anything that is not an attractive female is the exception rather than the rule. But even within that framework, classic Doctor Who went so far out of its way to shake that up and have variety even within that narrow field. Because yes, you had ones who fit all 3 categories I talked about. Jo Grant, Sarah Jane Smith, Tegan, you had characters like that, but you also had characters like Nyssa, Romana, Victoria, Zoe, characters from the past, characters from the future, characters from other planets, characters that weren't even human. And the other reason I don't want the new companion to be from modern day Earth is I'm really kind of done with the Doctor on modern Earth and having that be his default. I want him out in space, adventuring, flying amongst the stars where the sky's the limit. I don't want to have him keep coming back to Earth every couple of episodes because that's where his companion lives, or they've got family that's still there, or whatever else. I would really like the entirety of Series 10 to be set anywhere that's not Earth. I don't want him to go to Earth for that entire series. That would make me very happy. Again, I'm not saying never come back to Earth. I'm not saying the Earth stories are lousy for some reason, but I'm just tired of it. Give me the variety. The sky's the limit. We could have companions from anywhere in the entire scope of space and time. Why are we still getting these young women from Earth modern day? Enough. So that's me. What about you? Do you like this template? Do you like that the companions check all 3 of these boxes for the most part? Am I completely nuts? Or do you want something even more outlandish than what I've said? What would your ideal next companion be? Whatever it is, drop something down in the comments and let's talk about it. Until next time, this council is adjourned.